Okay, so we're going to take a look at how do you take a problem that is in standard form, a parabola specifically in standard form, and turn it into one that is in vertex form. So, and we will check our answers to validate that in fact it works. So here we go. We're going to take a look at a simple problem like this. Y equals x squared minus 8x, let's go plus 9. And let's say I wanted to get that into a better form. Now, vertex form, the form that I would like to have it in is this guy right here. Now, if you ever have it in vertex form, A tells me about my growth rate. Again, it's just going to be my 1, 3, 5 pattern being multiplied by A. That's going to help me find out how quickly the parabola grows. And my vertex is going to be HK. Now, you'll notice this says minus H, and that's a positive H because the vertex is always the opposite of what you see right here. And the Y value is directly what you do see right here. And so what I'd like to do is make this work. Now, one of the things that I want you to notice is on the problems for this video, I'm going to keep A as 1. I'm going to keep it really, really easy. We could do this more complicated versions, but for right now, we'll keep it nice and easy. So there is more than one way to do this problem set, but what I'm going to do is just show you one of the versions and then allow you to take it from there. So the first thing that I personally like to do is I set my problem up like this way. You're fine. I like to set my problem up this way, and I group my things that have x's together right here and the 9 over here. Now, again, if my A value is not 1, there's something else that I need to do. So this is just the version if A is 1. But we take this number right here, and we're always going to cut that number in half. So -8 cut in half is going to be -4. I'm going to make a little note over here to the side, because that's what I got when I cut it in half. So -4 squared is going to be positive 16. Now, again, other people will have different methodologies here, but my personal method is if you add 16 here, what I do is I take away 16, because if you add 16 and simultaneously take 16 away, it's almost like you didn't do anything. Those would cancel out. But what it did is it perfectly created a situation where that is x minus 4. And to remind you, remember A times C is 16, right? Right here. This number is 8. And to get that, you'd have two -4s, which is x minus 4 times x minus 4. I didn't need to do this because I designed the problem to do that. And I got a -7. Now that actually puts me in a good place. So hopefully I did okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stop this share, and I'm going to go ahead and share this with a Desmos screen right here. So in my Desmos screen right here is I have the equation y equals x squared minus 8x plus 9. And that's this graph right here. And what I did is I just reworked it into what we call vertex form. I had an x minus 4 squared. And then we had a -7 at the end. And what you're going to notice is as soon as I hit that, those two line up perfectly with each other. And you're going to notice there's a beautiful vertex at 4, -7, which again, I can label beautifully. There we go. We got it. So let's go ahead and look at maybe one more, making sure that we understand what's going on. So one more problem is this guy right here. So imagine that we have y equals x squared plus 10x minus, or plus 3 actually. I'm going to use the one that I already typed into Desmos. So my process that I personally like is I group my x's together with my non-x's. Again, we have a equals 1, so that's going to be for another video if we do that. If we cut this in half and square it, we get a 25. But see, it's not fair if I add 25 to the side unless I do something to balance it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that 25 away. And so what I should have then is a perfect x plus 5 square. Remember this number cut in half, and that gives me a -22. So if I've done this problem right, my vertex should be at a -5 and a -22. So let's go ahead and see what happens when we look at that one. So let's go back here to my Desmos and let's see how we did. Now, this is the problem we already looked at, so I'm going to go ahead and turn them off. But if we have done this problem right, we found that our vertex should have been at -5, comma, -22. Now that's way off my screen because it's so low, but hopefully that's where we have it. And you can see that looks okay. But we also found, I'm going to grab and copy and paste this one so I don't have to work as hard. But I found that I had an x plus 5 squared, and we had a -22. And what do you know? It hit perfectly on top of it, and that tells me that I did well. Okay, well, hopefully that was helpful. And I will see you back in class. I might do one with a little bit harder problem for those that want to go a little bit more advanced, but I will see you back in class. All right, bye-bye.